3, 2. Oh! Listen, no timer. Instinct.
Nothing says good morning like a freshly cracked Canada Grade A egg. You can find them in some of your favorite breakfast menu items at McDonald's, but who makes that happen? To find out, we're starting at the farm.
So Marie-Pier, I have an age-old question for you. Are you a chicken farmer or an egg farmer? Which one came first?
That's a great question. Well, usually we refer to ourselves as egg farmers just to differentiate from chickens that are produced for meat.
So how did you get into egg farming?
My grandfather actually started in farming pigs, cows, chickens, and my dad started in dairy cows, but then transitioned to egg farming. I did go to university for a couple of years. I studied in psychology, and I say that's how I can work with my family now.
So your supplier from McDonald's, how many chickens are we talking about?
There's about 40,000 chickens, so 40,000 eggs a day.
Woo!
It's a lot of sandwiches.
A lot of Egg McMuffins. So take me through a typical day on the farm. What does that look like?
Well, animal care and animal health and comfort is our #1 priority. So every time we get into a barn, we always make sure the feed is okay, the water is okay.
And how do you collect all the eggs?
The eggs roll onto a conveyor belt. The egg packer puts them in racks of 30 eggs, and then we stack them on 6 high, put this in a pallet.
Truck comes by.
And we start again.
Farming, agriculture, you really have to care about
for sure.
this type of work.
You have to be very passionate about what you do. Because it's not a kind of job that you can just leave. Canadian egg farmers have to follow different programs. The animal care program and the food safety program takes, I think, very passionate people committed to being there every day at your best self.
So McDonald's has made a commitment to sourcing 100% Canadian eggs in their breakfast sandwiches in Canada. How does that make you feel?
It makes us feel very proud to be farmers providing eggs to McDonald's, and I think it's food you can trust because it's made by normal farmers like us, and we love to go to McDonald's. So.
Since 2017, McDonald's Canada has sourced more than 600 million freshly cracked Canada Grade A eggs. And now that we know how they're produced, let's head to the McDonald's Canada head office to meet someone who's just as important in the process.
All right, Chef Jeff, I've met a lot of chefs, but I think you have had the biggest impact on my life, lives of so many Canadians. What is your role with McDonald's Canada?
My role here is Culinary Innovation Manager, which is essentially, McDonald's Canada's chef. We work with our partners in the company and come up with new menu items that fit the needs for our guests.
So McDonald's is a global brand, but what makes the Canadian guest different?
So, we have a lot of pride in being Canadian, and part of that comes with, pride in where our food comes from. So we focus a lot on Canadian sourcing, supporting Canadian farmers, supporting Canadian industry, be it in our food or other areas of the business.
So we're talking eggs today. We're talking Canadian eggs.
Well, you can get a Canada Grade A egg on our English muffins.
Do you think we can make one?
I think we could go in the kitchen, I could take you behind the scenes, and I can show you how it's done.
All right, let's make some breakfast.
So we're just gonna take our Canada Grade A egg, and we're just gonna crack it on our egg cooker here.
Crack, and then, oh. How was that? Am I fired? That's how I do it at home.
Break the yolk on the eggs, pour a little water on the top so that it steams nice.
So what makes the perfect egg?
Consistency is important in McDonald's, so you can see we have these little ring molds that makes a nice, perfectly shaped egg. All right, our eggs are done.
Beautiful.
The ring mold comes right up.
All right, so there's my egg. What do you think? What grade do I get here?
Well, I think that's a Grade A egg.
Literally, it is a Grade A egg. But what?
So we have an English muffin, break it in half.
Boom.
So grab the perfectly toasted English muffins.
Hot, hot, hot.
So all these different circles have different menu items, so when we wrap it up, the crew can easily identify which sandwich it is.
It's a cheat sheet.
So we take a little bit of our butter.
Bam.
You can grab your spatula and grab
one of these eggs like that.
You got it. Canadian bacon right on top of the egg.
On there.
Put your top on, and let's see your folding skills.
All right, this way, and then.
It's a B+.
B+ sandwich, Grade A eggs. And good morning.
Canada Grade A eggs brought to you by Canadian farmers like Marie-Pier. From farm to table.